What up, what up, what up?
The closer's mindset, baby.
Caps and Lynch coming to you not live from the center of the world.
Episode number 17.
Of 17,000. That's right. We're going to be here for a long time.
And today's a special day. Today is a great day to I really like this episode.
Yeah.
Why in-home sales? Why do this? Why do this kind of business? What we talk about, why do, especially for most of the in-home sales or home improvement sales. Not all of them, but most of them are. There are ones that aren't out there. We're not leaving you out. But most in-home sales that we know of, that's what it's geared towards. Why do this biz? It's definitely not ordinary.
It's definitely not anything I thought I'd be doing.
Right?
That's for sure.
Like you're doing what? when I tell people what I do, sometimes they kind of look at me weird.
When I remember telling my landlord in Minnesota, hey, I got this job. Because he wanted to make sure I could pay rent. And I was like, yeah, I just got this job. Oh, that was his first response. Oh, that's tough. Oh, going into people's homes, trying to sell them something for the first time. You just mean that's tough. And I remember just thinking like, all right, I hear you, but just shut the fuck up. I'm trying to like enter a job, man. Like, geez, thanks for the encouragement. I didn't know what to expect. This was brand new.
A lot of people think it's scary for people to do this.
Yep.
Because it's uncomfortable. And unless you're willing to step outside your comfort zone, this is not the biz.
Right.
And I'll tell you right now, if there's any reason to get in this biz, and if you like it any way, shape, or form, now is the time. Like right now in this biz, I've never seen how crazy it is. So just on that aspect of it's time to get it in to get the money,
right? This
is a great business. But just aside of that, it's a different breed of salesperson. I've always said that if you can make it in this sales, you can make it in any sales. Because I truly believe this is the heart of selling and closing.
Right.
Because you're down nitty gritty in a person's home, asking for that business that day, and you never met them before.
And you're walking out with a $20,000 check.
And it's great if you work for big companies that, have big names, but what if you work for a small mom and pop company that doesn't have a name? They're still closing the big deals too.
Yeah.
They're still getting the cheddar in.
Yep.
But it's the fun of it. It's the art of closing. It's the art of the sale. It's the art of going in there. And that's why I love this business. It's because I get to go in, I get to meet a new walk of life, I get to meet a new situation scenario, I get to help somebody improve their life, and I get to play a game and win.
Right.
Nobody wants to play me in Monopoly. You know why? Because I love the game and I'll play until they want to quit or I win.
Right.
And I do the same thing in a home. I just have more fun doing it.
So do you remember, bring us back 25 years? Getting into it, what was your mindset then? How has that changed at all? When did you fall in love with it?
My mindset, so I went from retail where I was stuck in a brick and mortar store.
Right.
And then they said, then they told me oh, you get to go. And I'm like, hold on. I actually get to go. This is how I thought. I was like, hold on. I remember I was sitting amongst some young punk. I was 21 years old. And I sat there and I said, hold on. You mean to tell me I get to go in their home and I get to see their problem right up front, right in front of them?
That's what you said?
At all times? They're yeah. I'm like, I'm in. Because I was selling clothing. I didn't get to see their wardrobe, so I didn't know what they had or didn't have.
Right.
So I could only judge it based upon what they told me.
Yep.
Now I can see what they had there. Most of the time in this business, at least half the time, they're going to call you out there asking you to come out to sell them something. They know you're coming out to sell them something. So, they've called you, they've asked it. We want to get an estimate for this. We want to get a price on this. So your job is to go out there, show them that, present a price, and ask for that business. And it's just the fun of doing that. To me, it was so exciting, to be able to go in there. And I'll never forget my first lead. I went in there bouncing off the walls. And I sold the job, 4 windows. And I went back and sold two more phases of that same customer.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But it was different back then than it is now. It's very different. Very, very different. It's fun, though.
Yeah.
Still fun. It's more fun now.
You think so?
Yeah. I because there's more of an art to it now.
Oh,
there was an art, but now it's much softer sale. There's more reviews involved. There's more romancing involved with it. There's more crafting and creating different scenarios when you're in the home with it.
Right.
And having fun with it. Like, for me, I love the challenge. Like, gosh, let me go to a home, and they're like, no, we're not doing this. Okay, challenge on. Tell me no again, please. Please tell me no. Tell me you're not buying. Tell me you're getting other estimates. Tell me any of that. I don't care. I'd rather you tell me so I can have fun with it, and let's get down and let's chit chat. Like, it's no different than being at the bar and having a beer with your buddy.
I think that's a big part of the closer's mindset is having fun with this. If you're not having fun, you're not going to be successful. That's literally one of my goals every day is to treat people well and have fun. I say that to myself driving out the door.
I did forget the one part though. You make a lot of money.
Oh yeah, by the way.
Lots of money. And guess what? And if you don't make any money today, the best thing about this business is tomorrow
I can make more money.
Look, there's a saying, and we're going to talk about that as well. And it's rags to riches in just 3 pitches.
Yep.
And it is so true. Rags to riches in just 3 pitches.
I remember, a little bit about my background. I think we've talked about this before, but my background's journalism, entrepreneurship.
Sure.
Getting by seriously paycheck to paycheck / debt to debt. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was my life. And then a random guy who I mentioned last time, he's going to be on the show, called me up and said, hey, I think you'd be great at this. Because I just randomly applied on LinkedIn or on Indeed. And I was like, hey, I'm going to apply to anything and everything. I'm just looking for work. Sure. Windows, whatever. Sales. That's what I saw was sales. Maybe I'll be good at that. I don't know. Calls me up. 10 minutes later after I apply, he calls me up. He says, listen, I'm at the gym, but I just saw your resume pop up. I'm like, dude, I don't know what this guy sees in me. He goes, well, you've got journalism experience, so you probably know how to treat people well, and you probably have really great hair. That's what he said. So
it's the hair.
It's the hair, man.
The hair caps. That's all it is.
That's what it was. Yep.
That's what it is, bro.
And you know what? It's funny because after that, anytime you get like a lady that's like, "Ooh, I like your hair," I'm just like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna get the sale." You know what I mean? As long as I'm not an asshole to her, I got the sale. But that was my introduction to it, and I remember telling him, "I don't know anything about this. I know nothing about this." And he said, "That's okay. As long as you can treat people well, I will teach you all the knowledge about the product and the process. As long as you can learn that, commit to that." Man, I hunkered down and treated it. That was like a miniature grad school program. That's how I took it. It was like a miniature master's program on selling. I don't think a lot of guys take it that seriously when they start. Like, no. Oh, it's a new job.
A lot of people
I can go out and just talk about the products.
Yeah, they want to try to lean on their selling skills or their
charisma or whatever.
They can sell ice to an Eskimo,
or they worked at Sprint, or
I've watched sales exec like top dogs that were just walked in with their bragging and just fall flat on their face, and they blame it on everything else other than the fact that they sucked.
Right.
They were weak sauce, baby.
They didn't have to suck either. They could have just been humble and learned the system that we've talked about several times. And
yeah, if you're going to do this, you got to be humble. And I'm not saying like, don't get me wrong. I'm cocky. I'm confident. I have an ego, but I'm also humble enough to know that I can learn a lot of information. I'm humble enough to learn
exactly.
I can be taught something, and there's someone better than me out there.
Yep.
And that's always in the back of my head. That's why when I'm in a house, I'm always thinking, if I don't close this deal,
someone better's coming in.
You're coming behind me or something, right?
That's right.
Or I'm coming behind. There's always somebody else that can come behind you and close it up if you don't take care of that, and take care of that customer and close that job up.
Those are the 4 H's. I remember my first day in the job, and they said, we have 4 H's here: humble, honorable, hungry, honest. Those are the 4 H's.
I thought you were going to say horny.
Sorry. So yeah, humble, honorable. I mean, those are the 2, and then obviously you got to be hungry, honest, and those 4. I think I just carry those, but I didn't really have to think about. Oh man, I need to work on that honesty thing. I just had them.
Those are 10 disciplines that we had, and it was for me it was accepting total responsibility for results. It was an expecting goal, positive attitude. And it was plan. There's a whole bunch of them. The biggest one, the last one, was belief in yourself, your company, and your products. If no one does, then neither will you. And it's just and if those just really resonated with me, and I can't remember them all right now, but they were inbred into my head, and it set me up for success.
Yeah.
Is those disciplines. And if you can discipline yourself in this business, you'll be real successful. But you got to discipline yourself. You got to be willing to put the practice and the effort in. And I'm saying that wholeheartedly to everybody out there.
Yep.
Don't think you can just rely on your skills and you're going to be this, that, and the other. Because if you've been in this game any amount of time, and I don't care if you've been in this game for 5 or 10, I know cats have been in this for 10 years that suck, that need help. And if you're the one listening to this and you're actually going to get a wake-up call, check yourself. I had to check myself before.
Right.
I had to take a dose of that humble pie, and it wasn't easy to eat. I did not want to eat that humble pie because my ego was like, no, this is nasty shit. Throw it away. It's old. And I'm like, no, you need to eat the humble pie, and you need to humble yourself because you're not closing like you used to close. And it took some humbleness to go, okay, maybe I need to check myself and see what I'm doing to better myself. And that's why I'm at where I'm at now, because I know there's always that one step to get better.
When you have that attitude that you can always get better, there's always a sale around the corner. Like we said, you didn't sell anything today. Okay, well, tomorrow you could make you could earn half of someone's annual salary in one day for yourself in this industry. That's what blows my mind. So when it's not just about the money. It's just like, if you have that attitude, I think if you're not putting in the discipline, you're not going to have fun. It's not like, why in-home sales? Why do we talk about, like, maybe it's called, why do we love in-home sales? Like, why do we love this industry and this job? That foundation of discipline and putting in the work makes it that much more fun. So if you haven't committed to that ever, to your point, if you're 10 years into this, I would say just slow down, maybe take a step back, humble yourself, say to your boss, hey, I got to learn some more stuff. Let's go through this process again. Teach me the step selling. I want to learn how to close the doors, whatever.
Exactly.
And you're going to have so much more fun when that is coming second nature to you.
Well, this is so...
Because now you're in the game.
I don't get this.
Now you're not just in a job, you're in the game. That's what makes it fun.
So part of this new school, which you young bucks coming into this, different from the old school, is in the old school, we would practice all the time. And I'm not saying the new younger bucks don't, but I don't see it.
I probably don't practice the way you talk about practice.
I don't see it. Yeah. I really don't. And it's a shame, because if they got that kind of discipline in practicing and going in and practicing at lunch or some other time and say, hey, let me try this close with you real quick, okay? Let me try this situation with you real quick, and this is bouncing back and see how it goes back and forth. And practice before the presentation, it's so much better. But yet they practice in the presentation, and that's where they fuck it up all the time, and you lose sales. You're losing money. You're taking money off your own family's table because you're not willing to practice ahead of time.
And then the excuse
is, if you're a pro,
it doesn't
you're
work,
gonna
right?
Practice. You know, I heard it best. This is how I heard it best. Okay, so if you ever played sports before, right?
Yeah.
And you're in high school, right? Right, and you're practicing, once, twice, 3 times a week, maybe 4, right? Go to college. How often do you practice there?
Oh, like 2-3 times a day?
2-3 times a day, and very specific practicing there, right?
Like mornings weight training, afternoon is drills.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And then when you get to the pros,
that's your freaking life.
Stop. And you know, and it's interesting. Only a few of the high school get to the college, and only a few of the college get to the pros. All right. Well, you want to be in the pros in this, you better freaking practice. Right. You better practice and practice a lot and practice often. Get yourself better. Learn your craft. It's like getting ready to go on a play in front of a whole bunch of people in front of an audience, and you're not going to practice it to make sure you have it down so you show them the best show ever.
Right.
And even then, you should do it. I forget the guy who was the singer, and they had done an interview with him, and there's like, hey, you did this song so many times, and he's like, we've played it this many times, and it's never been right. He says, every time we do it, we get better.
Oh, damn.
But we're always trying to make it the best we can.
Yeah.
But they've played the song thousands of times, but every time they play it, they just get a little bit better. It's the same thing with you. You know, every time just get a little bit better. Give that customer that best experience possible.
Right. And that's what it should
boil
down to, yeah.
And if you're in just I mean, don't get me wrong. I got friends that are in just for the money and they do it, and that's all well and good. You can make a lot of money doing this, but you'll make a lot more if you put your heart into it. Yeah. You'll make a lot more and have a lot more fun.
More fun.
Gosh, have fun. Like, get to know somebody. If you don't like people, you can still do this business, but it's funner when you like people. When you want to get to know somebody, just to know them, to learn about that person, their story, their walk of life.
That's why, I mean, that's my big translation. I mean, I kind of look at my life and what led me to where what led me from there to there. What about my like character and heart and what I love led me that way, whatever. I look at what I'm doing now and it's journalism without all the drama, and it makes me way more money, but it's just essentially journalism.
The same thing. So I've hired before when I was managing this business as well. And I've hired where reps have come in and people have come in to be reps that own their own business. And they're like, hold on, I don't have to deal with hiring people. I don't have to deal with like installing. All I got to do is go sell it. They were like peas. They were so happy because these VPs were loving it. You know why? Because they didn't have to do shit. Other than just go sell a job, sell it clean, hand it off properly, make sure everything, all the paperwork's done, and then move on. To my experience as an entrepreneur, that translates directly into this because I get to be my own boss. Dude, if you're selling, you don't have a manager breathing down your neck. As long as you're selling.
As long as you're selling, you literally are running your own business. Oh, but everything's taken care of for you. And but the leads are provided. You don't have to go, you know what I mean? For the most part, most companies are, your leads are provided. This is a
quote that I can actually coin and say is my own. Probably the only quote of all the quotes that I didn't steal, because I steal probably 99.9% of quotes out there. But a deal a day keeps the manager away.
That's you?
That's me, baby.
Oh, snap.
A deal a day keeps the manager away.
We got to put that on a t-shirt.
A deal a day keeps the manager away. Yeah. That's all you got to do. That's it. Sign a deal a day.
So if you, I mean, that's why in-home sales.
I would always look for a deal a day. Find it somewhere.
100%.
Doesn't matter. So you would have, let's just say you have 2 or 3 shots in a day. We would stack our days with challenge business from previous customers to demo no sales, because you'd have that little bit of time in between, and we're trying to find something in there.
Right.
So maybe you can stack 2 deals or 3. Have you ever done a hat trick in a day? 3 deals in a day?
Dude, I have. No, I've done like 4 deals in a day. It wasn't all first call closes. I'm waiting for a hat trick on the first call closes.
Oh, a hat trick like that. I've done that once.
Yep.
And I've done the 4 deals, and I've seen reps do 4 and 5. Again, callbacks and this, that, and the other.
Yep.
But doing a true first call close hat trick 3 in a day is phenomenal.
I almost had one it was like the other weekend. I was 2 for 3, and I got to the last one, and it just.
Did you say, do you know who I am? No. You don't understand. The last few people signed up, you can't. They're going to put a meme out for me, okay?
Right.
With all the hats in the ice. Come on.
Oh, man, it was close.
But these are the fun about. Also, the fun about in-home sales is you get to talk shit with your friends.
Yep.
And if you like to be,
you make good buddies.
It is fast-paced too. I will say that.
Yep.
If you don't like fast-paced, probably not the right business. If you can't think on your feet, probably not the right business. All right. If you're not willing to learn, probably not the right business, because it's always ever evolving. It's always growing.
Right.
The things we talk about now, we're going to grow on and probably be able to talk even better about it. Just a month from now or 6 months from now.
Yeah. Even this podcast gets better every episode,
I don't know how it can get any better, dude. Come on. It's the best.
It's like a song, man. It gets better every time.
It's the best you're ever going to see.
It's all downhill from there.
Oh.
But no, it's just been incredibly rewarding. Man, it is so... honestly, because I'd never been full... I mean, I'd been full commission because I was an entrepreneur.
That's what scares a lot of people coming into this business.
Full commission.
Full commission, but...
You know what I tell people? You're full commission right now. They're like, no, I have a salary. I said, try not doing your job. See what happens.
You get fired.
You get fired. You got to do your job to make the money. Same thing here.
Know your worth. Ladies and gentlemen, know your worth. And that's what a true salesperson, closer, knows their worth, because they know they're worth a lot more and they can close deals. And that's why they get paid commission.
Yep.
Because they're bringing the business to keep the lights on.
Yep.
That's why salespeople are miracle workers.
We would not have an economy if not for salespeople, man.
Oh, yeah.
There's no economy. There's no capitalist anything if not for salespeople. It all starts with sales.
Sales keep the lights on.
That's right.
They always do. You don't have the sales, so you can generate all the leads you want, but if they don't get closed, the leads just sit and they do nothing, right?
Yep.
And you can sell all you want, but if you don't take care of it on the back end, that's
part of it.
Either.
Exactly.
You just go bankrupt and take the money.
Right. Yeah.
But I guess to kind of go in a little bit more on why this business and why in-home sales for me, it's the freedom too. I think that's a big part of it. You gotta love being on the road. You gotta like that idea of just having that time to yourself.
Yep.
And being able to go out there. independent. It's very independent
Very
job.
independent.
You are going to have a lot of solo time. You got to have a lot of windshield time.
If you're good at what you do, you take a lot of, like, I love the freedom in the appointment of having that responsibility. It's not a negative thing for me. Like, carrying the discernment and the responsibility during an appointment to get to a sale. That to me is, I just kind of thought about that more than I ever really have, but I enjoy that. It's not like a lot of jobs, you're just told what to do. And here you're giving outlines, but you make it happen.
You put your own self into it. You put your own personality, your own spin, your own flair, and your own passion towards it.
Yeah. And the financial freedom. I've been able to do things for my family that I never could have imagined on any other job I've.
Yeah, insane paychecks.
Insane.
Life-changing.
Stupid paychecks.
So I would say this is a life-changing business for those that put it, I mean, really, really put the effort into it and really know where it's at. And I find that so many reps want to dive into finding more about the product or this, that, or the other. And that's all well and good. You can look at all the product in the world. That's wonderful. It's great. Learn the system first. Learn that system. Once you learn that system and have that system down to where you can flow with it and get to the point where you can flow in front of your boss. You flow in front of your boss, you got it, man. You're gonna be a killer out there. Get comfortable. And that's a
I had to
tagline.
pitch.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You had to pitch your
I
boss?
had to pitch my boss before I could get out selling.
Mm-hmm.
And that, oh man, it's so uncomfortable. I think that's why you need to learn the system, because like my first manager said, I could teach you the product stuff and the system, and he taught me the system. But when we know enough about something, we're comfortable talking about it. But what doesn't come natural is the system, because it takes someone who knows their worth, knows the value of what they're saying, what they're selling, and who they are, and their time.
And there's all different ways of selling too. Yeah. Like the way I sell, it's not the way you sell. It's not the way another person sells out there. I know guys out there that sell, like do a technical style sell and are they're very analytical and they do a completely different approach than I would, but they get down to it and they close like crazy.
Yep.
Because they create this genuine trust and knowledge about it, and they know every little detail down to the, how many screws go in and how they're screwed. And I mean, and a lot of that information doesn't mean anything, but the way it's delivered and the commitments that they are able to get and the value they deliver, they're closing them deals.
Right.
1 out of 2, this guy closed. 1 out of 2.
That's good odds.
You do that in a whole year?
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I start listening then.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to know. I'm like, what are you doing at home?
Talk about screws.
Tell me. Because I'll tell you right now, I think I'm really, really good in the home. I know I'm good. I know I can go and I can crush it in the house.
Yeah.
But I also know there's guys and girls out there that are better than me that can teach me a thing or two. Yeah. Can show me how to close this or close that. Because there's always something to learn out there. There's always a new spin. There's always a new close, right?
You know what else I really like about, is the self-evolution. Every month you're trying to be better than the last, because every month you start at 0 and you're nobody, but you remember last month you did pretty well. Or
that's also good if you did bad too, right?
Right.
You did bad,
have a chance to reinvent yourself.
You get a chance to you had a shitty month or even a shitty week. Depending on how you're gearing it up and how you're putting your goals together. And that's the cool thing. Remember, rags to riches, the 3 pitches. Yep. You can go all week. I remember a buddy of mine, Billy, telling me, he's like, dude, you can go all the way up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, not sell anything. Go on Saturday, run 2 or 3 leads, and sell, depending on what you're doing, anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 worth of business. Right. And make $5,000, $10,000 in that one day. Even though you didn't sell all week, you got all the demos out of the way. It's an average. Law of averages with this. Once you get good and consistent with what you're doing, the law of averages always work out in this business, and you're at least going to sell 3 to 4 out of 10 at least. And when you get really good, the numbers start climbing because you're going to start getting the ones that you were close to getting. And then as you get better and getting better and you get more confident in what you're doing, again, you're running the slot pattern better, right? You're getting better as that wide receiver because you've run it so many times now. And when Tom Brady threw the ball to you, it hits you perfect right in the chest every single time. You've run it so many times, you know it like the back of your hand. You know it so well you could run it in your sleep because you've practiced it. How many times? So many times you could do it in your sleep. Do that with this business. And I'll tell you, you'll be raining money.
Recurring thing that I've heard from new reps that actually put in the work is that they literally dream about selling for when you're in that training mode. Dude, I literally had dreams about windows and selling and being in homes and like, so
you started selling windows, just windows, or did you have anything else?
Windows and entry doors.
Windows and entry doors. So we did windows, entry doors. We did siding, kitchen refacing, and
we were supposed to do. I was trained on attic installation, but they never called me up to those leads, which I wasn't complaining about, man. Even though it was some of the easiest money, especially in Minnesota, it's like, hey, you don't have attics? All right, here you go, $400 in my pocket. You know,
it's no fun. I did attic installation. It's no fun. It's no fun. Spend an hour in an attic in the summertime, you'll never want. I mean, yeah. If you're selling attic insulation, God bless you. Yeah, really. I'm telling you, it's tough. Yeah. And not tough like hard to sell. It's tough like you're in that heat.
It's physically a different beast.
Oh, it's a different animal.
Yeah.
You know, and then if you have to go in there and really like, you know, do a thorough inspection on it.
Right.
It's no fun. Put your foot through the ceiling. Yeah. You ever broke anything in a customer's house?
Oh man. Have you? I'll think about it.
Of course.
Yeah, nothing coming on top of my head right now, but
well, that's sure.
I think my most embarrassing was like I was a step outside their front door as I was leaving, like tripped. I'm like, I know they saw me just now. I didn't break any of their stuff, but you're gonna make a fool of yourself.
You're gonna make a fool, and it's fun.
It's fun. You get all these stories, man.
You get these stories, and you get to share these stories, and you'll see things that you didn't think were possible. And you'll see.
You see how people live, man.
And you also get to see like cool like relics. Like I've seen relics like of cool like stuff. That, you know, everything from freaking space meteor to some special skull that was like I don't know how old. Creep me out, all right. And you'll see creepy shit too. Okay, I'm just letting you know right now. Get prepared. It's gonna be there.
Right.
Yeah. The weird room. Seen them. Yeah.
Yep.
I've seen secret rooms. I was at a house once that was building a one of the special safe rooms.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, where they had a special tools to even cut the drywall because the drywall is bulletproof. I mean, it was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, they also had a pool in their basement. You can imagine the kind of money. I mean, this was like sick money. But just like all kinds of crazy, just cool things. You'll meet so many walks of life, and that's the neat thing too, is the walks of life. And like I remember meeting Civil War enactment people, and like they'd have all the memorabilia from that. And then you have people that went like they would go deep into like other hobbies. And then you run into weird people too, you know, that just are eclectic and different, and they'll have stories that they'll tell you about, and you just sit back and listen, and just take it all in.
That's probably my favorite part is meeting people and hearing their stories. Seeing that's the biggest standout to me. If at the end of the day, like the money, cool, that's great, you know, that and just the personal development has been awesome. But yeah, the people, man, they make it. That's what makes it. I hear too many reps bitching about all the people they have to meet. I'm like, well, I don't know why you're doing this, man.
I will say though, it's different hours though. Like the hours, even though retail, they're different. You're not going to get home till 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. You're going to get up at the break of dawn sometimes. You're not going to have much of a life sometimes. But then you're going to get to go do stuff when everybody else is out working.
Right.
You know, my days off were during the week, not the weekends. And it was weird. But, you know, I would work and go make money and then go hang out on Saturday night.
I had a buddy just
and party like crazy every Saturday night. And everybody remembers, if you're one of these reps like me, running that Sunday morning appointment, hungover, like death, trying to get through that pitch. And just like, you weren't even worried about closing then. You were just like, I just want to get through it because my head is like pounding outside of my head. And I'm going to give them a price and I'm going to give them a demo. I'm going to do them and I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, been there. Oh, so I'm so sorry I didn't close that deal.
I had a buddy just joined a roofing company, you know, and in that's a totally different ball game even within what I'm used to. So he now apparently they work like 6 months out of the year, and that's where they make all their money. So they don't work the rest of the year. So imagine that. Like here I am, I'm working all day long every day, 6 days a week, and I love my job.
Are they up north?
Yeah, they're up north. Yeah, but that's, you know, these guys make 6 figures easily. It's again, to some people it is about the money, and I think it's not about the money, but what a life, man. He gets to work hard 6 months out of the year, and then he's just chilling. Like that's what this industry affords people, is just like opportunity in that way. I mean, I'm very grateful for this industry. 100%.
This is the best kept secret for sales if you're willing to put the time, effort, and energy into it. Don't come into this game and not put the time, effort, and energy into it. Don't come in thinking that, oh, I can be in this business and I can do this business. Oh, I've done sales. I'm good at sales. I can talk a good game. You know what I mean?
I was a top car salesman, so I've heard that too many times.
I've seen them fail from every business, and I've seen them successful from every business too. Because it doesn't matter what business you come from; it matters who you are as a being. It matters who you are as a person and who you are coming in. And if you're open and willing to accept fault in yourself and I think it really has to go to self-awareness. That self-awareness is huge. If you have self-awareness and know when you're screwing up and you're making errors and you can adjust to that, and adjusting too. Being able to be on your game, knowing when you're pissing somebody off or you have to make a change on there. Not having that awareness is like if I piss my wife off, I know. Or like she says something in a certain tone. Same thing with your girl.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
You know. Like, and anybody else out there, you got a parent, a brother, a sister, a loved one, a spouse. I don't care who it is. Someone that you intimately know. You can tell. You can tell when they're a little off or they're being a little quiet or something's up or they say something a little different. Like, blah, 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 blah. Tell me more. Tell me more. You have to have that kind of awareness in there. You have to have that situational and self-awareness of yourself to know that, hey, I can get better, and I can change this, and I can make that change, and then also be able to make a change on the fly.
Right.
Switch it up on the fly.
I would say too. I think there's a big stigma, at least from where I grew up. Anything construction, quote unquote, or trade. Like that's still a stigma out there, people going into the trades. And that I always assumed it meant being the guy like wielding the hammer. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
I grew up small town Minnesota where, if you were staying in town as an adult, like you weren't going nowhere kind of thing, So like everyone wanted to like go to these big schools and study these big things and like become these big, I think that is still something you hear a lot about. I don't think people realize how much money, whether you're selling it or installing it, man, if they had a course on how to build a home in high school, how many guys would go start companies and just build homes or install windows or whatever. I mean, there's still, I think, a lot of stigma around the trades. And that is something that's why I didn't see myself in there until the guy called me and said, I can see you doing this. And I had to just trust him. There was something in me to trust him.
I got recruited. I was working for a retail establishment. Guy came in, Cyril, and sold him some shoes and some shirts. And he pulled me to the side, gave me his card, went there the next day, talked to him. Nice. And the rest is history. Yep. I stayed in it since then. I never got out of it. Yep. And it was the best move I ever made. It's made me a lot of money. I've had a lot of fun. Been on a lot of trips. Met lots of walks of life. Have a lot of good friends that are still in this business to this day.
Yeah.
Like a lot of friends that are still from like 20 plus years ago are still doing this.
Yeah.
And it's where it's at. We wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
So that's why in-home sales. That's why we're the road warriors. That's why we're the miracle workers. That's why we're the ones doing what the others cannot.
That's right.
Not everybody's a closer. This is not business. I've seen so many come in and out the door. This is not for everybody. It is a different world, different game, but it's a lot of fun if you're willing to be different, to be that different type. And it does take a different animal and different person and different type. Keep listening to the podcast. You'll find out if you don't know much about this, or if you do, put some comments down about it. Sign up for our Be a Better Closer. You'll learn something there. Guaranteed you'll close one more deal. It's $99, 3 hours. So what's that mean? $33 an hour. And let's see, if you make any kind of good commission on your jobs, you sell one deal. I think it pays for itself. I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. It pays for itself.
So sign up. It's $99. Get it done. All right, I don't know how many we can add on. We're finding a platform now for it. I mean, it's this new and fresh, but we got to put it out there.
I think we only have 200 slots too, man.
Is it 200?
Yeah.
Okay, so
at the very maximum, if not less. So If you're into this,
click on to
just
it. I
get
think
into
you
it.
can sign up through PayPal or credit card. If not today, by tomorrow or the next day, it'll be set up. It's on theclosersmindset.com.
By the time people hear this too, all this, I mean, it's going to be a recurring thing. So we'll have multiple opportunities for you to get on
Monthly.
this. But if I were new to this or just wanting to improve, I would be on all of these. If you had the money for it.
Well, I'm biased because I'm running it
Right.
with you, so
Yeah.
you got to get on.
Oh, you got to.
Sign up now, today. There is no tomorrow. Same day offer.
Yep.
We'll give
What
you
I would say
$1
too,
off.
there's people out there who are like our sound engineer here, like learning about this industry for the first time. And if you're interested, not you specifically, buddy, but I just think explore it, reach out, ask a guy for a cup of coffee who does what we do and see if it's for you. Cause it could very well open up a ton of opportunities for you and your family.
And it's lots of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
It's lots of fun.
It's
what it's fun.
Yeah.
All right.
If you haven't gotten that by now, 17 episodes in, it's a lot of fun.
Anyways, that's all we got today. That's why we love what we do, and we do what we love.
Go close the deal.
We're out.